What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of CNC. This is episode number 87. We start today's off by seeing the good news is that Lloyd Payne's injury in the Community Shield was just a bruise, so a 5-day injury for our star centre half. Thank goodness for that. That would have been insult to injury had Lloyd Payne got like a 3-month injury in the back of our penalty shootout loss to Leeds in the Community Shield. What a bottle job. I mean, seriously, I know I've bottled and choked quite a few things in this year's FIFA. I mean, obviously, the Bundesliga title in my Bundesliga career mode, if you're watching that right now of Arminia Bielefeld, spoilers, but obviously I bottled that really, really badly. 8-point lead and then lost it on the final day. Yeah, there's quite a few things I've choked and bottled in this year's FIFA, but that's got to be one of the worst. 2-0 up in the Community Shield and then drew 2-2, and then in the penalty shootout, only scored once out of 4 attempts. Well, all I'll say is this. Heading into the first game of today's episode, first of 3, the Super Cup against Chelsea, I was thinking, alright, okay, just don't let it go to penalties. You know, like, seriously, try and wrap the game up in normal time. But taking on Thomas Tuchel's side here in the Super Cup, we got off to the worst possible start. We had a 2-goal lead against Leeds at Wembley. I couldn't see it happening in the Super Cup. Kai Havertz, the German, fired Chelsea into a very early lead. Just 5 minutes in, the former Leverkusen man put the Blues in front. We'd had a decent start ourselves. A great save by Mike here on Lloyd. Kept it at 1-0. We looked good when going forward in the early stages, but at the back, I was just really struggling to defend against Chelsea's high-powered offense. Federico Chiesa here almost made it 2-0 and doubled Chelsea's lead. Great save to keep it at 1-0, but Chelsea's onslaught of attacks just kept on coming inside the first half. Right before the break, 5 minutes before half-time, Rodrigo, the Brazilian, makes it 2. And I have to be honest, man, I talk about it a lot, but defending in this year's FIFA is just such a difficult task. It's so hard, and again, it's one of the reasons why I really like this FIFA. You know, the AI on Ultimate are just so ruthless with their attacks when going forward, but at times it feels almost impossible to stop them. Rodrigo makes it 2, and heading into the second half I was thinking, okay, unless we really get back in the game very quickly, this Super Cup is Chelsea's, and they might as well put the engraving on the trophy right now. We had 2 chances directly after the restart. Alan Bound, back from his loan spell from Rangers, denied by Mike, and then the header cleared off the line. It was still 2-0, and I was thinking, it's just not going to be my day. I'd look good when going forward. I just couldn't find a goal to get back in the game. And then right before full time, with the game basically done at this point, the former Leverkusen midfielder bags his brace. Kai Havertz with an absolute thunderbolt. No chance whatsoever stopping that one. It's 3-0 Chelsea. And we lose the Super Cup pretty convincingly to Kai Havertz, Rodrigo and Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. So, we had a chance at winning 2 early trophies to start Season 7 off. We lost them both. We lost the Community Shield, bottling it to Leeds United, and then Chelsea asserted their dominance in the Super Cup, and I was thinking, was last season a fluke? Do you know what I mean? Like, directly after this game I was thinking, was last season just nothing but smoke and mirrors? Because honestly, like, I got absolutely torn apart defensively in both games. Against Leeds, you know, I know it went to penalties, but had it not been for Price making some great saves at Wembley, we would have lost the game in normal time probably. But I really struggled in that game there against Chelsea to keep the Blues out. And it's not a real surprise when you look at the attacking quality they've got. You know, when you think about the attacking prowess, you know, Federico Chiesa, Kai Havertz, Rodrigo, just to name 3. It's not a real surprise I was going to struggle defensively, but I mean, that was just such a difficult game there. And when you think about the fact we won the Europa League last year and won the Premier League as well, I mean, I kind of thought, I don't know, man, heading into this season, I want to retain our title. But we haven't beaten Leeds, we haven't beaten Chelsea, 2 English top-tier sides we'll be facing this year back-to-back. You know, Champions League, we'll be facing teams of Chelsea's quality. We got thrashed in the Super Cup. I want to reach the semi-finals like the board want as well. I don't know whether we're good enough or not. So we're headed into the new season. And on the opening day against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Rodney Parade, our first game of the title defence, I got to be honest, man, I was feeling nervous. There was anxiety. I was feeling pressure. I was thinking, if I don't win this on the opening day, I am really going to doubt myself that I can, even stay in the top 4, let alone retain the title and get to the final 4 of the Champions League as well. So I needed to win on the opening day. I felt the pressure right from the very first game of the season, and thankfully, well, starting the game off, I was in attack mode. We got the early chances and we led very early on. Rabbi Matondo scored the opening goal of the season, shot Cara, and then right from that, it was just all Newport County. I was tearing Wolves apart really in the opening stages, and right before the break, should have made it 2 with Shasha, beating Max Kilman all ends up, but firing it into the side netting. So we still led by 1, but I was thinking, okay, at the moment we've not been tested at the back, when Wolves get their first chance, I've got to make sure I'm defending really strongly. 3 minutes after the restart, they found their leveller. Moise Keane, who is unbelievable in this year's FIFA. If you're looking for a lethal goal scorer, look no further than the Italian. He always scores against me. It's 1-1 and Wolves find their leveller. And I was thinking, for goodness sake, I've dominated this game. Wolves have had 1 shot and they've scored from it as well. I'm not slipping up on match day 1. No way. So directly afterwards, we got back in front. Bengabango's charged down, saw the ball deflect in the air. Matondo heads it down and Dan James smacks it in to put us back in front, restore our lead. And it was just, again, it was one of those games where I willed myself to the victory, if you know what I mean, because 26 minutes to go, spoilers here, but Rabbi Matondo does score our 3rd and final goal of the game as he gets his brace and we get the win by 3 goals to 1. I would have been fuming had I lost this game. Obviously, it's quite a streamlined series, so I don't show the stats, but I absolutely dominated this one. Wolves scored with their only shot of the game, but we managed to get the win courtesy of Rabbi and Dan James. 3-1 the final score. Definitely deserved a win, no doubt about that. But it was just one of those games again where I was like, okay, defending in this year's FIFA, it is so difficult. So I've got to make sure I take my chances, because at the end of the day, we signed Ben Gabango for the new year, 82 overall. We got Lloyd Payne, 89 overall. We got a really strong back line, but at the end of the day, we're still going to concede a lot of goals, because that's just how this year's FIFA goes. So I've got to make sure I take my chances when I get them. I did in the second half of that game as we won by 3 goals to 1. So a win on the opening day, relieved a bit of pressure after the losses in the Community Shield and then the Super Cup. With the following game, another tough one here away at St Mary's against the Southampton side that did really well last season. If you remember, we lost, I think it was 5 times in the Premier League all season long, but one of those defeats came at this ground at St Mary's. They beat us 3-2, so again, a tough game here for our first away day of the campaign, but early on into the match we would take the lead. Joe Rodden, I think he scored his first goal for the club, smashing one in from just outside the area and putting us in front. I think that's his first goal since joining Newport County. I might be wrong, but I think that's right. So we led by a goal at St Mary's, then half an hour in, the Saints looking to respond here, had a couple of great chances, but Price made a couple of great saves, man. He might be 78 overall, but he feels like an 83 overall goalkeeper. He's so good between the sticks for club and country. Couple of great saves, kept us leading by a goal heading into the break, and just like in the previous game against Wolves, I was thinking, okay, alright, I've got to get some goals. I've got to double my lead, because at some point the opponents are probably going to score. So soon after the restart, he went down the right. Mark bound Gareth Bale's region, dinks one in to the middle, and Rabbi Matondo. 3rd goal of the season already. If there's one man I can always rely on, it's Rabbi. 2-0 to Newport County. And after that moment there, I feel as though we kind of knocked the stuffing out of Southampton. They played really well. A couple of great saves by Price prevented them from getting back on level terms. But once we got that 2-goal cushion, I was thinking, okay, we can really dominate this game now and see out the 3 points. Dan James continued his great start to the season, getting another goal there. That's our 3rd of the game. And at this point, the points were basically in the bag. Southampton played a high press, and I talk about this all the time. When a team play a high press on you, if you're composed enough, if you've got the men in the right spaces, and you trust yourself, and you've got a quick team as well, you should be able to work the ball in behind them and create easy chances in behind the space that's left behind the back line. We did for this goal here. We went 4-0 up. Tyler Roberts off the bench for Rabbi Matondo gets his 1st of the season. Mark Bound had a hat-trick of assists at this point. He was dominating on the South Coast. We were leading by 4 goals to 0, and Southampton continued to throw so many red and white shirts forward here. I knew if we kept on attacking, we could probably find a 5th goal. Not that we needed one, but in stoppage time, look at Lloyd Payne going on the run as the dummy runner. Lloyd sweated across the face of the goal, and who's there to turn his 1st goal of the season in the Premier League at the back stick? Super Gavin Humphreys. I love this. Look at the drive from Humphreys to just about win that ball at the far post there and smack it in off the underside of the crossbar to wrap it up. Southampton 0, Newport County 5. 5 different goal scorers in that game as well. Really big win, and that's what I needed. bottled the Community Shield, got thrashed in the Super Cup. I was doubting myself a little bit, but what a way to respond. Back-to-back wins against Wolves and Southampton, and our title defence gets off to the best possible start. 2 games in, 2 wins on the board, and 8 goals in our first 2 as well. Couldn't have asked for a better start in the Premier League, if not in the Community Shield and the Super Cup. But that will end today's episode of Club and Country, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you hadn't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for next featuring transfer deadline day and the draw for the Champions League group stage very soon.